My name is Aimeric. I'm owner of Fleur de Cocoa. So for us, it's very important to use first quality of produce, like the vanilla, the chocolate. It's very, very important. So today we are going to make this cake. So it's dark chocolate mousse, vanilla creamy, confit exotique, and streusel base with nougatine and cocoa nibs. Enjoy! We are going to start with vanilla creamy. So it's going to be cream, egg yolks, sugar, gelatin, and of course vanilla, Tahitian gold vanilla. So we are going to weight the cream. So the 600 grams of heavy cream. After we are going to add the vanilla from Madagascar, 5 grams. So 60 grams of granulated sugar. And we are going to put on the induction just a boil, 144 grams of egg yolks, and the gelatin powder mixed with water. So we are going to boil the cream with the vanilla and sugar. When it boils, we pour the cream on the egg yolks, and after we cook at 82 Celsius. And after, at the end, we add the gelatin. We are going to mix with a hand blender and put in the fridge until it's cooled down. If you do this recipe, you can put the vanilla ground bean with the cream the day before in the fridge. Infuse the vanilla and the flavor, you have much more flavor. So it's ready, so I'm going to pour the mix of the cream, sugar and vanilla into the egg yolks. I stop the induction. So I turn off the induction the time I put the liquid inside, and you cook at a medium intensity until 82 to 84 Celsius. So almost done, 81, 82. Up. I add the gelatin inside. And the gelatin is going to give you the texture about the creamy. It's going to be very creamy, so like a consistency of crème brûlée. It's almost the same texture. After, I use a hand blender. And I pour the vanilla creamy in the hotel pan. It smells very good. And I'm going to put a plastic film on contact and in the fridge to cool it down for at least half hour. So the next step is going to be the cocoa nibs nougatine. So we put the milk, the glucose, sugar, pectin, melt butter on it in a pot. After I have the cacao powder, the cocoa nibs. I'm going to put in a robot coupe just to grind a little bit of the cocoa nibs. You will see for the nougatine. I'm going to add like a half teaspoon of vanilla bean, Papua New Guinea, inside. So I'm going to boil all the ingredients. So again, it's milk, butter, pectin, NH, sugar and glucose. So just boil. Voilà, so it starts to boil. So now I add the cacao butter, cocoa nibs and the vanilla ground. I put the vanilla ground because of the cacao nibs, and the cacao butter is going to be like a little bit bitter. So I give some sweetness and flavor of vanilla also. It's very, very good, the combination. And after, with a spatula, I'm going to cook like for 2 minutes at medium intensity also, the induction. And now I'm going to pour the cocoa nibs nougatine with vanilla on it between 2 silpat, another silpat on the top. It's very important. Just a thin layer like this. It's going to be inside the cake to give you some crunchy. And after, I put this nougatine on the tray, and I'm going to put in the oven at 170 Celsius for 14 minutes. 7 minutes, and after I'm going to rotate, and I'm going to bake at 7 more minutes. So at 170 Celsius. So next step, we are going to do the base of the cake. It's a hazelnut crunchy base. So it's hazelnut paste with hazelnut praline. And we are going to add some vanilla from Madagascar, fleur de sel, a little bit of cacao butter, milk chocolate, little bit butter, and also we have the streusel base. So it's like a sugar dough, a little bit with hazelnut on it, and I baked, and after I crush, and we are going to put everything together and mix it. So I already have the hazelnut paste and the hazelnut praline. I'm going to melt the cacao butter, so I'm going to go to the induction. The same thing, medium, just to melt it. We just need to be careful with cacao butter, because when you melt it, it can be very hot. It's not need to be very hot because we are going to put the chocolate on it. I stop it, the milk chocolate. I melt the milk chocolate into the cacao butter. Yeah, it's ready. So now we are going to put a little bit of fleur de sel. We are going to put vanilla from Madagascar, 1 gram. 1 gram of vanilla of Madagascar. I'm going to pour the chocolate and the cacao butter, melt. The soft butter, you see it's very soft. It's very important, because if you don't want some pieces of butter into the base, so it need to be soft. And after, I'm going to add the crunchy base. So it's the hazelnut crunchy, and I'm going to break a little bit of hazelnut, roast in the oven. Voilà, just a little pieces, and after I'm going to put in the KitchenAid. And I'm going to mix. So you have everything in a bowl, all the ingredients in a bowl. And when it's all mixed together, you stop it. So I use a silicone mold for the base and also for the vanilla creamy. But if you don't have a silicone mold, you can use the ring, the metal ring. So it's going to be, the cake is for the 16 centimeter, 6 inch. So you can find a ring, a metal ring, or also you can find those mold online. So I'm going to weight the crunchy base. So 180 gram. I'm going to the mold. A little bit extra. And after, with a spoon, voilà. And after I put in a freezer. So now the next step, we are going to do the exotic confit. So we have puree mango puree, we have a passion fruit puree and banana. And on the other side, we have the pectin NH with the sugar. And we are going to add some vanilla from Madagascar also. So I'm going to add a little bit on it. because you have the acidity of the passion fruit, and with vanilla, it's very nice balance. When you taste it, it's amazing. 1 gram of vanilla, add on it. After, add the sugar and the pectin and H on the puree. And after, I put on the induction, and I'm going to boil. And now I'm going to whisk until it boils. So you see the vanilla on it. Just boil, and after you stop it. It boils, so now, voilà, so now it's done. I stop it, and now I put here. So we have the vanilla creamy ready. It's cold, not too cold, because if it's too cold after it's going to swell up and it's going to not be very nice. I mix it again, just to have a very nice texture. Voilà. And now we are going to pour the vanilla creamy in the silicone mold, the same size like the crunchy base. And we put the vanilla creamy in the freezer. And after, we will pipe the exotic confit on the top. So now I'm going to take the exotic confit from the fridge. So it's cool now, so I can proceed to put in a robot coupe just to mix very well. And after, we will pipe the confit on the vanilla creamy. Okay, so now I put exotic confit with vanilla into the robot coupe. Just a little bit. Very nice texture. And now I'm going to pick up the vanilla creamy, and we are going to pipe the exotic confit on the top. And we put it back in the freezer for when we are going to build the cake. You have the gelatin melt with water. So like for a small amount like this, like 20 seconds in a microwave, just to melt. Yeah. And the chocolate also. I pour into the chocolate into the liquid. Add the gelatin on it, and after I'm going to use the hand mixer to mix all the ingredients together. So all the liquid melt at 35 degrees Celsius, and the chocolate as well, and gelatin melt also. And after I mix it. You see the difference. When you mix it, it's very nice, shiny, and it's very, very important to mix. All the recipe we made usually with insert, creamy, mousse, we try to mix all of them, because after for the texture is going to be much nicer. So we have the base ready for the chocolate mousse. So we have the other part, the whipping cream. So we are going to whisk until a good texture. So now the texture is good. I can stop the whipping cream. it's very important to not go too far because after it's curly. Also, you have the fat from the cream separate, and you can find some little pieces. So it's very important to have a soft creamy. I just put ice bath just to cool the base for the chocolate mousse a little bit faster, a little bit more. It's a little bit thicker. It's very fast. So, yeah. So it's ready. So now I'm going to pour the chocolate base into the whipping cream, and just be gentle when you mix the whipping cream with the chocolate, because if you go too fast, after you are going to have plenty of bubble inside, and it's not very nice for the texture of the mousse. So yeah, the mousse is ready. So now we are going to be ready to build the cake. So when I built the cake, every time I put a rhodoid plastic around the cake. Like this, it's easier to unmold the cake. Usually you don't need to torch them, or after when you put the heat on the side, it's not very good, because also for the mousse, it changes the texture, so it's better to have this plastic. So the final step, so the chocolate mousse is ready, so we are going to add all the different layers we did before. So first we are going to add the crunchy for the base. After a little bit of mousse. And after, with a spoon, I just put the mousse on the side. Like this, you don't have any air bubble when you unmold. After, I'm going to add the nougatine of Fleur de Cocoa. So it's very crunchy. So you break in little pieces. Just put around the cake. You see, it's a very thin layer. It's very important, because when it's too thick, it's not very good. It's not crunchy, and too chew, it's not very good. After, I add just a little bit of the mousse, because we are going to add the insert, the vanilla creamy, and the exotic confit with vanilla on it. So I take the vanilla creamy with the exotic confit. So like this, you see plenty of vanilla. Put like this, and after I put a little bit mousse on the top, and with a spatula. And the mousse is ready, the cake is ready. So now I put in the freezer until it's well set. And I have always extra mousse, because it's very important, because when you are going to put in the freezer, when it's going to be cold, it's going to create dip it or shrink. So the day after, I put the mousse on the top, or when it's very cold, I put the mousse on the top, and after I'm going to glaze. If you have missing some chocolate mousse after, you are going to put a lot of glaze, and it's too sweet after, it's not good. So now we are going to glaze the cake. So we have a dark glaze. I'm going to mix on low speed. So I made one day before, I put in the fridge, and after I put some to melt in a microwave, and I mix it with a hand blender, and at low speed again. And it's very important, because after you don't want to see the bubble also. It's when you need to put the hand mixer deep inside the glaze, and not on the top, because after you are going to create a lot of bubble. The glaze it's melt. You have a nice consistency. I'm going to check the temperature. Yeah, 30 degree, the temperature of the glaze. Voilà. So now I'm going to start to glaze the cake. So I take from the freezer. Up. So I remove the rhodoid. You see you don't have any bubble on around the cake. We are ready to glaze. So voilà. I let like 30 seconds to settle up a little bit. The cake are glazed, so we are going to decorate them. It's the vanilla ganache, so cream, white chocolate, and vanilla ground from Madagascar is going to go into the macaron to decorate the cake. So I'm going to put the macaron around. Because you have the acidity of the passion fruit, and with vanilla, it's very nice balance.